guacamole in less than 5 minutes. Sounds good to me. Way back when, the Aztecs' word for avocado was aguacate, and which the Spanish couldn't quite get down, and so they called it aguacate, which turned to English, didn't quite get that down, so they called it avocado. Anyway, the Aztecs had a dual meaning for avocado. One was the fruit, the avocado that we eat, and the other was testicle. And then mole means sauce. I'm going to let you guys piece that together. There are a few things in this world that are better than creamy, fresh guacamole. Let's get started. You can use a variety of peppers for guacamole. I like to use jalapenos, and I do devein and de-seed them because I don't think guacamole is meant to be that hot. To dice that jalapeno, first cut it long ways like this, and then you're going to turn it sideways and cut it in very small pieces. This is the only ingredient I'm really going to give a super fine dice to because I want that jalapeno to be very evenly distributed throughout the entire salad. Here's a good little tip. Leave that root on when you're dicing these onions. It holds it all together really well. As you can see here, that all those pieces aren't flying everywhere, so when it actually comes time to dice, easy peasy. See that there? That's about all the onion you want to use in this recipe. Now I'm adding the citrus, lemon or lime, doesn't matter. Pick your favorite and go with it. I like lemon. This little contraption sure makes things a lot easier, and it's counterintuitive how to use it. That's the way to do it right there. I'm going to go into greater detail of why I'm using a red pepper instead of tomatoes here later in the video, but in the meantime, what you do is you turn this upside down, you just cut the sides off. It's so much easier to cut it that way. Then the rest of it is just cutting it like you did your jalapeno, but in bigger pieces. Instead of throwing that extra red pepper into a bag to let it spoil easier, just get you some of these deli containers that make your life a lot easier in the kitchen. Okay, I'm going to go on a little mini rant here. I don't know when, why, or how this ever happened, but the larger tomatoes started tasting like nothing. They don't taste like tomatoes. They don't taste bad. They just don't taste like anything. At least the smaller varieties, there's several different ones. They still taste like tomatoes. They're very good. So if you're going to be using tomatoes in this recipe, go get you the small ones. They are so much better. Okay, rant over. Okay, I thought the rant was over. Okay, so 15% of the population, cilantro tastes like dish soap. So if you're going to have a bunch of guests over, you might want to rethink putting cilantro in guacamole. I'm certainly not going to, but I got some because I'm going to garnish it because I have a cooking show on YouTube. And that's the only reason. On to the avocados. You saw how I opened it there. Do not hold the avocado and do this next move, okay? Because you could miss and injure yourself greatly. Also, don't pull it off. Just take your thumb and your index finger and just push it off, just like that. Little avocado safety there for you. When it comes to avocados, do yourself a favor. Go to the Mexican supermarket. Not only is it going to be better quality, you're going to have different types. You could even go with the gigantic Florida avocados that are about 3 or 4 times the size of what I've got here. Okay, I promised to talk about the red bell pepper later in this video, and I think it's a good substitute for those tomatoes, especially because good tomatoes, especially in the winter, are very, very difficult to get, but it makes a great substitute and tastes good, a little bit different, but still has a nice freshness to it. And I did go ahead and put those grape tomatoes in there because they did taste good after all. Now these little tomatoes, they come in all shapes and sizes, so you just sort of have to play around with it for the best way to cut it. A good sharp knife comes in handy here. What I'm trying to show you is let the knife do the work so your tomatoes don't turn out to be a big pile of mush. Now add salt and pepper to taste, and you're going to have to use quite a bit of salt to bring out that good avocado flavor. The last ingredient I added was the tomatoes. because I don't want to crush them. So that's why I just fold them in, add a little more salt there, and voila, you're done. Gotta make sure we put that last chip in just the right spot, and look at that. That's beautiful, and it's delicious. And with guacamole like this, you need to have the very best chips to go with them, which you need to make yourself, which is linked. So go take a look.